Hi. When I first started working, I remember spending a lot of my time at my desk. And I know many of you women over 40 who have to run your online businesses spend so many hours at your desk seated all day. So these hours usually fly by, and before we know it, you've been sitting at your desk all day. That was my life back then. So at first, I really didn't think much of it, but eventually my body started letting me know that something was not right. Yeah. And so I started to feel stiffness when I stood up, my back and my shoulders began to ache. And by the end of the day, I was completely exhausted, even though I hadn't done anything physically demanding. The truth is that my body was paying the price for all those many hours of sitting. I'm sure many of you are already experiencing this. So you sit down to do some work and then you realize before you know it, you've been sitting the whole day trying to catch up with deadlines and completing projects. And then by the end of the day, you have not moved your body much. So I knew I needed to move more, but I kept telling myself that I'll start when I had the time for it. I thought that I needed an hour for a complete workout. I needed to be involved in a proper workout routine, or maybe get dressed in different clothes to be able to exercise or work out. But the problem is that that time never comes, and I'm sure you are aware. You also experience that. So you work online, and sometimes it's very difficult to find an hour set aside to take care of your body. Then one day, I came across the idea that a burnt pancake still counts as breakfast. And that made me laugh because it also made me think about my own body as I built my businesses online. Of course, I needed my work involved sitting down at a desk for long hours, but what could I do? Did I always need to be able to set aside an hour to do it? And if yes, this hour was not coming along. And so I needed to think about something else. So I began treating movement the same way as I was treating, a burnt and ugly pancake as being breakfast still. So I did not have to do a perfect workout or be involved in a complete 1 hour session at the gym. And if I did not have that, then it did not actually mean that I had nothing at all. So I began thinking about small ways that I could use to incorporate small movements in my day instead of waiting for the perfect time or the perfect movement routine. So I began fitting small types of movement in my day, in the life that I already had. So I began incorporating like a stretch here and there, a short walk after having sat down for a bit. If I needed to answer a phone call, I would, answer it while walking. If I needed to think through something, I would prefer walking while doing it. And that way, I began being able to incorporate more movement into my day instead of waiting for the perfect time. So that was nothing dramatic, just small bits of movement that I could actually stick with. And that made a very big difference in my life. So if you're like me and you work online, you have to sit for many hours and you've been sitting at your desk all day feeling stiff and tired and wondering why it is so hard to stay active. Maybe this is just to tell you that maybe you don't need a better workout plan. Maybe you actually don't need an hour. So maybe you should just stop thinking, waiting for the perfect time. Just start moving. Any small movement matters. And if you don't have a place to start, if you're wondering where to start with incorporating small movements to your day, I've created this 2 minute desk reset. It's a gentle way to reset your body, and you can do it without leaving your desk. So grab the link in the comments, download it, and start right away. It has a list of that's examples of three different movements that you can perform right now: shoulder rolls and and two other movements that you can do right now. So download that and get started. And if you like, in the comments below, you can tell me what's the first thing, which part of your body is the first one that starts to hurt after a long day at your computer. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time with more tips on how you can incorporate more movement into your day, even as you have to sit down for long hours working online as a woman over 40. Thank you very much.